Hi everyone, you join me back on the banks of the River Severn, and today I'm down at Bert's day ticket at the Ship Inn at Highley. So I was last here in March and it was safe to say the place was looking a mess. The landowner had some plant machinery in and had cleared the wood on the upstream side of Bert's day ticket. There was mud everywhere. It was, well, I wouldn't say landscaped, it was scalped to be honest, and it was looking just a complete shambles. I'm going to have a look what's happened now over the last 3 or 4 months. Hopefully it's all been tidied up, hopefully it's greened over and looks a lot better than how we saw it at the start of the year. After that I'm going to get some lines in the water, hopefully catch a barbel or two. If you watch my videos you'll probably know my sessions are short and sharp, and today's no different unfortunately. I've only got about 3 hours of time on my hands, but I'd rather come and fish if I can, when I've got the chance. So yeah, let's get and have a look up the stretch to start with, see what it looks like, and then we'll do a little bit of fishing and see if we can tempt a barbel or two off this day ticket stretch. So starting off with the car park then, so back in March this was really muddy, boggy, there was no way I was bringing my vehicle in here, but it's all dried out nicely. 2 or 3 cars at the top end there parked up, and just on the right hand side here, a couple of pegs. Morning. Couple of pegs where you can park right behind, you can get down to the water's edge there. Same here on the right hand side, this chap walking his dog. Lovely couple of pegs, quite settled water there, some faster moving water just behind the bushes there. So let's get ourselves up the car park, and it's through that gate there at the top where all the work took place at the start of the year. This used to be a wood behind here, but it's all been opened up now, and just looking through past the gate it looks like it's greened over quite nicely since I was last here, because it was literally just like barren and almost sort of reminded you of almost like a landscape off the moon or something like that. So let's just get down here then, have a look. So if you do want to park at the end of the car park here, there is another peg just down there. You might just be able to see it. It's like a sandy beach that is down there, and you've got some faster moving shallow waters in front of that peg. So rather than go through the gate over there, I'm going to go through the old footpath, and this used to be the old footpath through the wood, but as you can see now, no trees. So just coming across to the left, so this track here looks to be pretty well established now, so looks like there's regular vehicle traffic coming down here. All this foliage is all sprouted up over the course of spring and early summer. Still got some piles of branches, debris, whatever's left from the trees that were felled. It's a nice overcast morning so far, feels pretty fresh, tad muggy, but so come across here, so peg there down to Shingle Beach. I remember that from when the wood was here. It's quite a nice peg that is. Good peg for rolling meat that. It's probably not a feeder peg or anything else, but some really nice fast oxygenated water there. Oh, look at that, there's a car parked up in the distance there. So it looks like people are driving into here and they're probably fishing out the back of the car, which is interesting. The peg down there. So if people are driving into this, well, call it a field, I don't know what else to call it right now, but if they are driving in here and fishing out the back of the cars, then I guess that makes sort of this quite convenient for a lot of people. You can night fish this section as well, so being able to bivvy up out the back of your boot is going to be a quite attractive thing for a lot of anglers, so I could see that being pretty popular. Another car making its way down now. So yeah, so people are definitely driving down here. I'm assuming that Bert's allowing it to happen because he'll be around 3 or 4 times a day for his day ticket. You can just see a few more piles of what's been left of the trees. All the big bits of timber have been taken out. Right, let's make our way down here. I'm assuming this car here is going to be an angler, so I won't disturb them. Yeah, I can see the rod tips through the trees over there. Bit of steam in the background. Yeah, there's definitely somebody fishing down there. Bivvy up. Okay, so night fishing then with park in mind, your peg looks to be well and truly on here. If that's your thing and that's what you're looking for, then that's probably the benefit of all this wood that's been taken out. It's opened up the ability to be able to drive down this track here. If we just pan the camera around, you could pretty much park up here. If you want to fish this peg, just make your way straight down to the water's edge, which I guess is ultra convenient. Still looks a bit of a mess, to be honest, but it's a hell of a lot better, and probably 100 times better than what it was in March. You can see like that's a vehicle space there, so somebody's been in there with a vehicle. Sorry, I pan the camera around a bit quick there, so apologies if it was a little jerky then, but yeah, there's a vehicle's width there as well, so people are definitely driving down here. I think it was possibly that peg there that I fished in March and turned a barbel up when the level was quite a bit higher than what it is now. Yeah, you can see all the tracks here. That people have definitely been down here. There's a few lads down there fishing, so we won't disturb them. So yeah, that's what it looks like. I guess the short summary is it's better, but it's still not ideal. The trees are gone. I can't put them back again. But if you want some night fishing on the Severn with good access, then this is pretty favourable now. Well, so all change here again. So it does look better, but it's not my cup of tea, to be honest, but it is what it is. I'm going to get myself back down towards the car park now. I've just had a chat with a couple of the lads that we walked past, and I also saw a couple of other guys tucked into pegs that I didn't see on the first time round, and that probably explains the cars that we've seen in the car park. So there's, on this bend, I think there's 5 different pegs being fished, so it's quite busy. So I'm probably going to head back towards the end of the car park because there was nobody down there, and I'm probably going to stay out this line pressure that's going on here. So I think that's going to be the plan. Try and find a swim that's got a little bit of pace, but some deeper water too. And I think then probably got 2.5 hours. I think I've been faffing around up and down here for probably about 45 minutes now, getting this footage and just having a chat to people. So I've reduced my fishing time a little bit, but let's go get some gear, get in a peg, just see if we can nick a barbel over the time that I've got available today. Well, the sun's just starting to break through above the horizon. It's a lovely morning on the Severn. So here's the swim I'm going to start in. A couple of rods, just targeting mid-water here. So there's a slightly slower and deeper section. And the reason why I'm here is just panning the camera back round to the left. Just up here, there's some faster moving rapids where there's probably some oxygenated water coming off there. And it's just making its way down the river here into this deeper section. There's quite a bit of shadow still across the middle of the river here, so I like my chances that there'll be a few barbel held up out there. So we'll start the session off here, see what the first couple of hours brings. If we need to change it up, there's plenty of options on this stretch to find a different peg, even though there's quite a few people on up in the wood, well, in the old wood area. There's no longer a wood up there, unfortunately, but yeah, look, we're going to start here, and let's see how we get along over the first couple of hours. So we're going to get this upstream rod in, but very quickly, quick look at what we're doing. So we've got a river feeder there, 3 ounce. That's packed with ultramarine ground bait and hemp. Got it on a bolt and run kit. And we've got a Flurocarbon hook length, I would say just over 2 foot. 14mm pellet start session because the light levels are still pretty low. And then we've got a small PVA bag of 4mm pellet just to go out, clip to the hook there. Size 8 hook. Got my horizon marker on the far bank. So I'm going to cast to that every time, just so I'm building bait up on the same spot. That's gone down with a nice dunk on the bottom there, so that feels like it's landed onto some gravels, which is what we want. Yep, downstream, or upstream rod, sorry, is away. Whoa, powerful fish on here. Wow, what a take that was. Well, this fish has shot down and crossed over the other line. It's not picked it up, so just got to be careful here. Proper take that was. Jeez. Let's just move the net round ready. This wooden pallet underneath your feet's a bit dodgy here. Can hear it creaking, so I'm going to get off that and just slide myself down to these rocks. Oh, it's early in the season, but they're slippy already. So these rapids just up on the upstream side, just coming into some slightly deeper water here, so just how I like it. So there's some nice oxygenated water coming down the river here, and these fish are just sat in this deeper section. I had a feeling this peg looked good for it this morning. And we've got a nice early bite off a barbel here. Active on the surface. We'll try and net him quite quickly if we can. Don't want him to burn out too much energy if we can help it. Yeah, there we go. Well, that's a great start, that is. Well, that is a nice start to the session. One barbel in the net down there, just resting away in the edge. I'm going to set my camera up just at the bottom down there, unhook the barbel in the water. It's been in the net there for about 10 minutes resting away, and we'll get this barbel back after a quick look at it, nice and quickly. So here we are, first barbel of the session. I'd say it's probably 6.5 pounds, something like that. That's a lovely fish. Upstream rod, just in this deeper water. It's a great little start. So it's had a rest already, so we're just gonna get this straight back this time of year, no messing around. As you can see, that barbel was ready to go there. Off in a hurry. lower those hook baits up. Oh, sun is starting to burn through, it's really warm. Nice start to the session though with that first barbel there, both rods back out. Always good to get an early one, isn't it? Just vindicates the swim choice and just gives you that bit of confidence you're in the right place on the river. Always fancy these deeper water sections after some rapids at this time of the year. Hopefully there's a few more out there, so we'll keep a close eye on these tips. The recasts every 10-15 minutes, something like that, just to keep a regular flow of bait over the early part of the session going into the river. That'll be the approach. It's what I do normally at this time of year. Standard approach for me. Probably seen that in previous videos, but that's what I'll be doing today, and hopefully that'll yield a few barbel for us. So here's a kit I've got with me today. 1 3/4 pound test curve barbel rods. Got my pod again. The ground's pretty hard here. I've got some sticks with me, but I had to go getting them in at the start of the session, but it's just easier to use the pod until we get some rain. I'll put all of the details of what I'm using, terminal tackle, all the equipment, everything in the video description, so you can jump into that after you watch the video and just have a look if there's anything that you want to know, what tackle I've been using and all the bait and everything like that. So it's all detailed and itemized in there, so you can have a look at that. Terrific morning to be on the banks of the Severn. No other signs on the tips, and to be honest there wasn't any indication before I had that bite. It literally just smashed straight over. Really aggressive take. The fish shot off and just made its way underneath the other line. Well, I'm going to sit down, have a bite to eat, keep an eye on these tips, and hopefully the next bit of action's not too far away. So after the last video, I had a couple of messages of people asking, what do I put in the little PVA bags that I send out on each cast? And these are just 4mm standard pellets, fish meal flavour. I'll put a link in the description to the page on Vortex's website for what they are, so you can find them nice and easily. That was last night's homework, about 25 bags there that will cover me the majority of today's session. I'll knock these up in the kitchen. Got myself into a right pile of bother with the wife, and I've now got a ban from doing these in the house. So yeah, just if you're going to pre-make them, I would just say watch where you make them in the house. So I'm banished to the garage and the garden with these, but yeah, they're nice and handy to have ready for the session, just to clip on. I don't want to be making these on the bank. I want to be concentrating on my rod tips, and also I've got to make the video as well, so that just takes a bit of extra time in between casts and just watching the water. So yeah, I come to the bank with these pre-made, ready to go. Just clip them on, bang them out there, and they do the job nicely for me. So reload time, fresh feeder, fresh hook bait. Change the pellet every couple of casts or so, just to keep it nice and fresh. PVA bags to go on as well. Quite surprised that Bert hasn't turned up yet for his day ticket. He's normally bang on it first thing in the morning, but it's just nice being sat here taking in the sun on the weekend after a busy week at work. Just lapping up a few early morning rays, watching the tips. Good for the soul, this is. Missing the start of the season. It's good now to get a couple of sessions under my belt, and yeah, I'm really getting a taste for what I've missed so far over late June and early July. But hopefully over the next few weeks I'll have a little bit more fishing time available to me. Get a few more sessions in. Keep churning out a few more videos for you to watch, hopefully. That's the plan. So the Barbel Alley section just upstream of the Unicorn Inn. So the Unicorn have taken that field over, so I'll try and get in there over the course of the next week or two, just to show you that stretch. That's another day ticket on the middle Severn. You can night fish that one as well, similarly to here as well. So for those that want to do a bit of night fishing, then yeah, that's another option for you. Hopefully we'll show you that over the next couple of weeks or so. It's a good stretch, that is. There's normally a fair few barbel held up there. It's by the waterworks. There is the BAA option on the far side as well, on the opposite bank. So you can fish that from both sides, day ticket on the right hand bank and BAA on the left hand bank. But we'll save that for another day. Let's concentrate on what we're doing today now. See if we can get one or two more caught off Bert's section here today. So there's a few chalets up there on the hill. I think it's a mix of residential, but there are some that you can rent out up there as well. So if you're looking for some accommodation, that's next to the Highley station on the Severn Valley Railway. Then you've got the shipping as well, that's got some rooms as well. So if you want to come up here for a few days, then there is some accommodation kicking around quite close to this stretch. Well, quick change on presentation there. Couple of 8mm pellets, just to scale it down a tad. See if we can tempt another bite. Let's get this back out on the same spot. Just see if that more refined approach will help us to get another pickup over the probably last hour or so that I've got left on today's session. Well, it's been short and sweet, but my time is nigh on up for today. So let's just have a quick recap over what we've learned today. So the section at the top of Bert's is looking a little bit better from the start of the year. It could still do with quite a bit more work doing on it to tidy it up. But if you're looking for some convenient park behind your peg fishing, then that's a good option for a day ticket on the middle Severn. You can pretty much reverse your van or your car and bivvy up out of your boot and night fish there. So it will be up quite a few people's streets. Personally, I would prefer that the wood was still there and the more intimate style of fishing still existed, but you can't change what has unfortunately happened. Making my way downstream here today to fish further down the stretch and away from the line pressure up there where the majority of the lads were fishing last night. They were struggling for a bite up there, but I managed to nick one out down here. So whether there's any sort of sense in getting away from the line pressure and just making my way to a quieter section of the stretch, who knows, might just have been a coincidence that I stuck a feeder straight on a barbel's head, but we've had a bite anyway. So it's been a productive couple of hours. Could have done with a few more hours I might add, but hopefully my next couple of sessions are going to be for a bit longer, so we can hopefully kind of build some more bait up and try and get a bigger hit of barbel on the next couple of videos ahead. Thanks very much for watching. Good luck with your own fishing. I'll see you on the next one again soon.